Hello, we are the group 7 and today we are going to talk about semantics. My name is Valeria Espinosa and I am going to talk about semantic characteristics of nouns. Among the main semantic characteristics of nouns, we have a female. When the women is a semantic feature of noun, it sometimes indicated by the suffix ess, for example, white dress, aunt, girl, women, etc. Human is another semantic feature of nouns, for example, teacher, lawyer, nurse, scientist, etc. When we use the word mother, now that the properties are feminine and adult. Semantic properties can have syntactic and semantic effects. We distinguish between singular nouns, plural nouns, and massive nouns. Countable nouns can be enumerated and pluralized. For example, 1 apple, 4 apples, 10 apples. And countable nouns are used with indefinite determinants, a or an. And with quantifiers, for example, an apple, a pear, many apples, etc. Uncountable nouns such as sugar, milk are preceded neither by indefinite determinants nor by certain quantifiers such as few, little, among others. Thank you.
Good evening, my name is Fran de la Cruz and we'll talk about the semantic characteristics of verb. Let's start with knowing that the verb is in words that indicates an action, state, or process. Therefore, we will talk about one in its branches. With the semantics, remember that semantic studies the meaning of the word tags derived from the verbs. For example, cook, write, sing, and dance. And processing which action is a procedure and indicate for location or position. For example, run, walk, swing, fly, keep, by, on, between. These three general semantic features, stationary, duration, and telicity, are its main bases. The semantic feature negation is found in certain words, the evidence by the occurrence of elements of negative polarity. Verbs describing states, statics, are very evident when we use their verbs in passive voice, the present progressives, and imperative, and with adverbs in the hundred. Case of this type change its expression according to the time in which instead is spoken. Thank you very much.
Hi, I am Carolina Yanes and I'm going to talk about the argument structure. What are they? They are the noun phrase that appears with a given verb. These verbs are intransitive verb, distransitive verb, and transitive verb. Okay? Intransitive verb, this use only one subject noun phrase. Example of verbs are arrive, go, lie, sit. This transitive verb, this use a subject, a direct and indirect object. Example of verbs are tell, show, buy, and let. And transitive verb, this use a direct object complement. Example of verbs are find, hit, and chase. In conclusion, Franklin mentioned that the argument structure of a verb is part of its meaning and is included in the lexicon. Therefore, it is necessary to emphasize the importance of the topic in question. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Daisy Carrillo. I want to talk about the semantic role. This describes the semantic relationship between the verb and its argument noun phrase. And you added that give action and the thing or action. The semantic structure predicates that it implicates an action. For example, go the dog run to him home, the sounds. The pandemic put thousands of the people of the world. The instruments, the water produce energy, and experiencer people felt that. That is, a participant is an event that may be affected by the event is one way or another, and focus on one or another. All these changes are relevant that they interest this participant is stated as the subject or patient of the event. Thank you.
Well, now I am going to talk about you some examples of the grammar that was explained. I show some sentences that explain better the idea of the examples. The example of semantic of nouns, I can tell you that the movie star looks at the sky and says this beautiful star. The example is the word star. The example of the semantic with verbs, we have the action that you will accompany the public in the quest, the feeling, like loves to act, the inaction that Amy rests after the exercise, and the status, Juan is creative. Now I am going to talk about you the examples of semantic argument structure. There are some intransitive verbs that plane arrives early to pick up passengers. These transitive verbs that the lady buys food at the market, and transitive verbs that my father cannot think his car case. We can see arise, buys, and find. And finally, the example of semantic with the notative application that he painted his car black. Example of the notative with the notative application that all the money is invested in the bank. That was the presentation of the group.